We finally made it out here. We looked at the car, got it for a pretty decent price. This is an absolutely beautiful Saturn SL2. Kyle's gonna absolutely love it. It's got the nice plastic fog. It's starting to yellow a little bit. Lots of rust, very rusty. Get some shots of the interior. All in all, not too bad. There's you know, some grease stains. The floorboards are starting to rust a little bit, but it's not Flintstoning yet, so that's a good sign. It came with this trickle charger solar panel. He said that if you leave it for too long, the battery dies, so that's good. Some sort of draw there. E-brake works, I think. It feels like it works. The brakes are pretty squishy, but it does stop. You gotta kind of have like a sense of understanding of how these old Saturns, like the price points were just engineered so low. Like this little dial AC adjuster is kind of nifty actually. It's got a really nice haptic feedback, like the click is really nice. All in all, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's worth what we paid. I think Kyle's gonna be pretty excited about it. Starting to fall in love with it a little bit. There's like no creature comforts. Everything that is bare minimum is just slightly there. Like they tried. There's no extra. There's this little switch that says performance, and when you push it, everything starts to rattle. The mirror is like before Amazon. I was gonna say Amazon, but it's obviously called a little add-on. The Pioneer radio, you can see like somebody bought it in the early thousands so they could plug like an iPod in. Like everything about this just makes you feel like you're back in the early thousands and it was still a bad car then. And like when you're driving, you have to be thinking all the time. When you come to stop, you have to adjust the steering angle, and it takes like maybe a quarter of a turn for the steering to engage. Very scary, but I don't know, there's something about the simplicity. It feels right.
Just look at the location of the front wheel in relation to the rear wheel. That alignment is really bad. Almost made it. He's gotta go get us a push car.
Well, we tried. We got it almost all the way here. It's about a 45-minute drive. And at the last quarter mile, not even, maybe 500 feet, the K-frame completely snapped on the driver's side. So we had to pull it in. There's nothing really to do about that. So I'm not sure what our next steps are. We got Kyle on the way. to do a big unveil, and it doesn't work. It doesn't drive.
We're giving him his dream car, and it doesn't move.
Yep.
It runs.
Kyle's dream car runs, but does not move. To be fair, his grandfather didn't make the powertrain.
He was just the body mold engineer guy.
Yeah. So, perhaps the interior exterior is enough. Maybe it doesn't have to run.
Lawn ornament.
It'll make a nice lawn ornament for sure. Plus look at all these fancy features. We got the manual. It's got a first aid kit. That's a plus. So
we also didn't talk about the fact that it has 280,000 miles.
Yeah, 280,000 miles, and it died right at the very end of the finish line. I'm feeling a little disappointed. I think it was a good adventure while it lasted. To be honest, I was just starting to love this thing. All of its weird little quirks, like when you would stop, it would just jump around, and the steering only engaged at very odd angles. That's a bummer. It's a bummer that Kyle is not going to get to drive it.
Let's peep this K-frame.
Here's the thing, Kyle. We know a story about you that led us in this direction.
Okay. I can't take you serious with the hat.
We know a story about you.
What's the story?
What did your grandfather do for a living?
Oh, he worked at AAA. Are you talking about the other grandpa?
Other grandpa.
Oh, he's like a master machinist or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did he do?
He worked at he worked at Saturn.
Yes,
He
he
worked at
did.
Saturn?
He did work at Saturn. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Do you know which Saturns he worked on?
The plastic ones.
Well, that's good. Okay. So we've got plastic and Saturn, so that's pretty much all of them because they're all plastic.
Yeah.
Well, it stopped after a while.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, James and I saw something, we thought of you, and I don't know if there's much more to build up here. I think
we just got to go for it.
I think at this point you just have to come see it. So why don't you come along?
Oh my gosh.
It is a 1995 Saturn SL2 with 280,000 miles.
It's flawless. There's
have-
no rust.
There's some.
Wow.
Yeah, check out what it comes with.
All right.
We bought this from the original owners who paid cash for it in 1994 while they were a college student.
Wow.
You are now the proud owner of a 1995 Saturn SL2.
Oh my god.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys so much. I don't know what to say. Speechless.
You should get in it.
Take her for a rip.
All right.
Starts right up. Might have to dig it.
Oh, don't forget your e-brake.
Is that a turbo? Oh, e-brake. No, I'm just gonna. What's that whistling sound?
An exhaust leak.
Okay. What is that sound?
Like we said, don't get your hopes up.
How did you get this here?
So, there's a little bit more to the story, Kyle.
You might want to turn it off.
Yeah. So, this is about 45 minutes away. We drove it all the way back here, and about the last 500 feet, the K-frame snapped. We had to pull it in.
Yeah, go take a peek under the car. On the driver's side.
Yeah, look right under here. Oh God. So it's
We bought you a car.
it's a fixer-upper.
How do you fix that?
We don't know.
Undecided. We've got some ideas.
We figure we should probably just let like the internet decide.
I think that the internet should decide what we do with it at this point. But it is yours. I mean, whatever you think is best.
The title is inside the car. It's signed.
Yeah.
It's good to go. It's yours now.
If you want it as a lawn ornament, we could arrange a tow truck.
Wow. Thank you guys. Wow. Surprisingly, it's in good shape for. Yeah.
It was in good shape.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Previous owner said it would make it all the way to Royal Oak, and it did. Said it probably just needed an alignment.
Yeah. It did need one.
It did need one. Now it needs more than that.
How much do you guys pay for this?
It's not important. You gotta think though. I mean, the tooling for these plastics very well could have been made by your grandpa.
Yeah.
And the plastics look great.
Part of it's in it. They've really over-engineered that part. Too bad GM was behind the rest of it.
If it wasn't for General Motors. I don't know what to do now. This has been a real hiccup in an otherwise solid adventure.
So, there's just like part of the unibody is just like rusted out.
Yep.
Can you see it from up here?
No, you can't. So what do you want to do with it, Kyle?
Well, I really don't know.
Has some sentimental value,
It does. It does.
and I know you've been wanting a Saturn for a while, and I talked you out of one before because I know how rusty they get, and so we ended up buying you one that just rusted itself to death.
So when you were driving it back, I noticed. I looked on Apple Maps, and you guys were taking 12 Mile all the way. So I knew that it wasn't roadworthy, like freeway worthy. How did it drive then?
You know, I started to actually fall in love with it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does this fun, well, it did this funny thing where like when you pressed on the brakes, it would jerk to the right really hard. So it was really scary. And also the steering wheel was pegged all the way to the right, like that was straight. But there's something to appreciate about the interior and like the driving experience, I think. It's pretty solid. Like, it's so simplistic. Here, like a funny thing I noticed is that like when you're driving, if you see this interior lights knob,
Yeah. You get like different
it's completely blocked. You cannot see that at all. Like,
So it's just by memory.
you just have to know that it's there.
Oh, there's a little first aid kit. It kind of matches the car. It definitely wasn't from the car.
If you pop the trunk, there's some goodies in there. One red flag we noticed is that any car that comes with 1/6 of a quart of ATF is like, that's a red flag.
Yeah. Okay. (2009) 9/11/2009. 8th anniversary. Ooh. They went to a meat store. Oh, I wonder what this. Oh, the seats go down. Do they?
I think they should.
I don't know.
Split.
No, the roof, the trunk, and the hood are metal.
Should we just demo it. I don't even know what to do anymore.
He wants to fix it.
Let's fix it. Let's fix it right now.
All right. If you want to see us fix it,
I don't know.
I don't know what you should do.
Send us money. We don't have a P.O. box. We don't have a Patreon. Kyle has an OnlyFans, but nobody's supposed to know about that.
Realistically, I don't think we're gonna spend much, if any, more money on this. Like, at this point, I think we rig it up with whatever we've got lying around in a
And
welder.
then just send it.
Just send it as much as we can.
So like, what the fuck?